am so excited that you chose to spend some time with us today. I promise it will be worth your time, and we won't waste your time, and we won't prolong the time. And so I'm just excited. If you don't know, I'm Lanisha Marie, aka the Fly Coach. I'm an HR professional turned coach. And so just a little bit about me and why we're here at Travelpreneurs in the making. So as a corporate HR professional, I pivoted into coaching because I had, from doing multiple surveys, exit surveys, performance surveys, from meeting with employees, coaching and development, meeting with the managers, I had come to learn why employees just are unfulfilled in their work, why they leave an organization, why they are maybe not happy in their roles. And what oftentimes gets talked about a lot, and you let me know if this is you or if you've heard of this before. A lot of people talk about toxic work cultures, they talk about bad management. But what a lot of individuals don't often talk about is that sometimes they're just not in the right position. They are out of position. They're not working in a position that closely aligns with who they are, that plays to their strengths, that plays to who they were created to be and what they are created to do. And it's oftentimes in those moments, in those positions, that they are unfulfilled because fulfillment is found in purpose. And so, from working as a corporate HR professional, I oftentimes would tell individuals, guess what? Even if you have to work that job because the bills are waiting, right? So, we need income. Make sure that you're doing something that you love and you enjoy outside of work. And so that's what got me into coaching. Now, of course, we are here, and good morning as you're coming in. We are so excited to see you. But what got me into, because of course we're on Travelpreneurs in the making. So of course I also own a travel division in my coaching business. And I've been in the business for over a year now. Time has completely flown by, I should say. I wanted to just use the word fly so bad, I guess, in that moment. But um, I have always been an avid traveler. I have enjoyed traveling. I used to be a flight attendant 10 plus years ago. And so I've always enjoyed traveling. And so what brought me here to this intersection and this moment in time is that I had came back from Grenada, and on my first day back at work from that trip, I had had a wonderful, awesome, and amazing time. But it was on that day that my job told me that my role was no longer needed. Now, of course, as an HR professional, I am used to going through reorgs, restructures. I'm used to having to do separations. And I would oftentimes tell individuals, unfortunately, as I'm having those difficult conversations, like, I hope you have another source of income. I hope you're not just relying on this one source. And so it was through those conversations that I'm like, well, Lanisha, you're not really working your other streams of income either. And so when it came time for my role to now no longer be needed, because we all know it's based on a business need, 2 days later, I met this awesome and amazing woman that I'm going to bring up right now to the stage. But I met her 2 days later after that conversation. Talk about timing. Okay. Talk about recognizing that moment. And so I met her and we've been connected ever since. I said, you're not getting rid of me anytime soon, because I have just learned and grown so much as personally, professionally, and we working on these finances too. So I'm just really excited. My coach and my director, who is this woman? She is from, I'm always going to say she's from Milwaukee, but she currently resides in that Sunshine State, Arizona. She is a 30 plus year woman entrepreneur. She is a woman's woman. She loves to coach and mentor others. So that's why I'm like, yes, you're for me. She is an author. She has published books. She is the founder of Be Well Travel and Lifestyle magazine. She is the master connector. I say I'm just a resource connector. She is the master connector of all connectors. And so that's why you want to definitely hear from this amazing woman, my coach and mentor, Coach Carmen Ray. Come on up and introduce yourself.
Good morning. Good morning. Listen, this is going to be recorded today, so you guys might be catching this in the middle of the night. Whenever you catch this information, I want you to know that we are so glad that you stepped by. So you just heard from Lanisha Marie. I personally call her on our team the superstar. You know how you just meet people, they not only have the experience, they have the knowledge, but they have decided and made up their mind to execute execute on their plans. And that's exactly who she is. And she is relentless in her coaching practice and making sure that everybody that is part of her organization and those of us that are attached to her in any way, that we all win. So I'm so excited that you all are here. Let me just share a little bit about my journey in the area of travel. Who knew that 7 years ago that somebody that I had a great level of appreciation for, somebody that I had respected, we had co-authored some books together, we had found some success on our entrepreneurial endeavors. Her name is Dr. Shantina Gladney out of Milwaukee. She shared this information with me, but can I tell y'all a little secret? Don't tell nobody else. Listen, I had never booked a trip for myself. At the time that this business was brought to me, I didn't even know how to go online and book my own flight. But here's why. At that time, I was a traditional business owner. I had a dynamic, amazing administrative assistant. So, yes, I traveled, but I only traveled for business. I had not organized my life in a way that I could literally take time to go and travel for pleasure. Rarely did I have any travel experience that was just for pleasure and didn't have business attached to it. So, how about this? At that time, I was married. I was married to someone who worked for a congressman. So, guess what? We traveled. He traveled for business too. We even spent time in the UK. But can I tell you, his office booked all the travel? All we knew how to do is have somebody to send us the itinerary and go. And then I wanted to leverage those business trips. So, every time we went on a business trip, I would pack my kids up because we're gonna travel on the business account, right? So I would pack my kids up. We would take their homework, let the teachers know we have some traveling to do. So that was the extent of my experience. So now let's fast forward. Remember this, I was a traditional business owner, right? So you didn't have to convince me about what it meant to be able to have multiple streams of income. I understood that very well. But here's what happened. I realized that the first business that I opened, it required $48,000 to even open up the door. And then I had a payroll of over 14,000 every 2 weeks. And what I want you all to take away today in this conversation, that some of us get that first milestone of what we consider to be some level of success in our career or in our business. When we hit that first six figures, let me tell you, that is the entry point. But all six figures are not created equally. The sacrifices that I had to make for that six figures. That child care center ran from 5:30 in the morning to 9 o'clock at night. So yes, I had a fleet of vans. I operated a child care center. It took me about 3 or 4 years to get to that six-figure mark, but I was so exhausted. I had sacrificed so much during that time. So when I was introduced to this opportunity and I started being coached and mentored by people who was doing something that I love to do, and that was to experience travel, and not just for business, but for pleasure, and seeing that this was a vehicle to give people access to six figures without killing themselves, without sacrificing their family, without sacrificing their time. At first, I got an attitude. I had an attitude. I was like, where was this when I was in my 30s? Where was this when I was younger and had more, energy? But let me tell you, it's nothing like the right timing. All of us come to information during the right timing. You heard Lanisha Marie talk about she and I met 2 days after her job. Let her know her services were no longer needed. So you guys, you're coming across this information today because the timing is right for you. So I want you to relax, get ready to ask your questions at the end, because we want you to know whatever it is that you're doing. If you are in a career, you need to start working on your plan B while your plan A is working. Also, if you are already an entrepreneur, you should consider adding a travel division to what you're already doing. I operated a child care center. I got that child care center up to about $500,000. But let me tell you how I was able to 10x that child care center. I went and met with the social service department and started offering parenting classes. I started offering classes for domestic violence. So, do you know that income went up from $500,000, 500,000 to $800,000 in my business just because I made that connection? So, if you're working in the area of insurance, you're working as a nail tech, you're working with a hairstylist, any of that, we want you to know today it is absolutely a way that you can absolutely integrate this business so that you can absolutely do what it is that you love doing, but you can seamlessly add travel right into it. So I'm going to turn it back over to our fly coach so she can let you know that we're about to rock and roll with the rest of our presentation.
Yes, thank you, Coach. Because we're here to talk about leverage, okay? Whether we are leveraging our love for travel, we're leveraging that travel in our businesses. We are leveraging today. So, again, if you joined after we did the initial start, go ahead and put in the chat where you are dialing in from. And we want to say good morning to you and thank you for spending your Saturday with us today. So let's get into it. Travelpreneurs in the making. And I promise we won't be before you long. But who is this perfect for? And I want you, as I read these questions or statements, if this applies to you, I want you to go ahead and put me in the chat or say, this is me. Say yes. Let us know that we have the right people in the Zoom room today. So, who is this perfect for? If you have a passion for travel and adventure, who doesn't love to travel? That's how I feel. That's how I think about it, just travel, just period. Who doesn't love to travel and have that adventure? Is that you? Number two, are you intrigued by the idea of turning your love for travel into a profitable business? Yes. And we're going to talk more about that. Do you want to learn actionable steps to start and grow a travel related business? If that's you, go ahead and put that in the chat. Do you desire the flexibility and joy of being an entrepreneur? Woo! Let me tell you, it's been over a year. I told you in the beginning of my intro, it's been over a year since I've been working for myself. And that flexibility, and time freedom is like no other. And last but not least, if you are interested in adding a travel related feature or service in your existing business, or you may already have a travel related feature or service, but we're not quite monetizing it yet. So that's what we want to talk about. So if any of those statements apply to you, you are in the right room. Okay. You are in the right Zoom room. So let's talk about it. Why travel and why now? Number one, travel is the number one search topic on the internet. Let me ask you this. What are people usually doing between the hours of 7 to 3, 8 to 5, 9 to 6, maybe 10 to 7 for some of those late starts? What are people usually doing during those hours? Can you guess? If you're working for an employer, we're probably at work. And so during those hours, travel is still the number one search topic on the internet. And you want to know why? I'm going to put my HR hat on for 1 second. It's because people are trying to think about how they're going to spend their PTO. Where are they going for their birthday? Where are they going for the next trip? And I don't want to say it, but we know as HR professionals, where are you going to use your next sick day? Cough, cough, because you want to go somewhere. You want to take a break from work. Travel is an $8 trillion industry, and it's expected to grow to 15 trillion in the next 10 years. Understand that travel will go up, travel may go down, but travel never ever goes away. You want to know what always stay packed? The airport parking. The airport parking lot is always packed. When you walk through that airport, you are never walking by yourself unless you have reached and attained private jet status, because I'm working towards that too. When you go to the airport, you are never there alone. And so it is expected to continue growing as it has already. And then individuals like to travel, or they have a desire to travel, if they had more time or financial resources. And this is the real part about traveling. I'm in so many different conversations, And people always resonate with traveling, and discussing travel. And they wish they could travel more if they had more time off, more freedom, and more money to be able to do so. And so that is why we are talking about travel, okay? Because we want to create that time, personal and financial freedom. Understand, we are in the memory making business for families and our clients. Like I said, everybody that's on this Zoom and is seeing this or watching the recording, we're in the memory making business. We want to spend that personal time with our friends, with our families, and create those experiences. But if you are an entrepreneur, we are also in a memory making business. We want to create those experiences for our clients. We want them to have an enjoyable experience, not only for them to return, but for them to refer. Okay. And so we want to make sure that we are creating those exceptional experiences. And so that's what we're here for today. So I will go ahead and pass it back over to the coach. She's going to go ahead and give us an overview and get us started.
So, the diverse opportunities available in the travel industries. This is where some of us get stuck. Some of us may already have decided to add travel, but we get paralyzed because we're trying to do too many things at once. Travel is huge, it's so vast, but you got to make a decision about all of the opportunities. What's going to be your area of focus? My area of focus, for example, is I absolutely love Jamaica. So I became a Jamaica specialist. I am here in Arizona, and people travel all over the world to come here for golfing, for our spas. We have so much to offer. So, one of the key things that you want to be able to do is definitely be aware of the diverse opportunities that's available, but you want to niche down. And what is it that you want to be known for? Do you want to be that Disney specialist? What do you want to do? What do you want to specialize in? And then how to identify your niche and target audience. I may speak to a lot of different people, but my audience is women entrepreneurs over the age of 50. So my messaging, my marketing is catered to that population. Not to say that I may not have some younger superstars like Lanisha that I've connected with, but she just caught on because she's very mature for her age, is one thing. She has a lot of experience, but I know who I'm talking to primarily. So I want you to keep that in mind. Who is your target audience? Simple and effective strategies to monetize your travel experience. We know right now that social media is hot. So maybe you want to start a YouTube channel to get your travel business out there. Maybe you want to host events to get people to be aware of what it is that you're doing, connecting with the different Facebook groups and organizations. What is your strategy? In any business, you got to have a strategy to achieve a certain level of success. And then tips on creating compelling content and leveraging again social media for your growth. Can I tell you all that AI has totally changed the game? I went from saying, oh my goodness, AI, this is it. I'm too scared of this. The people don't went crazy. This is beyond the Jetsons. I was afraid of AI about a year ago. Can I tell y'all, AI has become my best friend. I use it every day. Like these are the different tools that we can use to create compelling content and so much more. And the great thing about it, we're learning these different strategies together as a community. And you don't need to feel like because you're in business for yourself, you will not be by yourself. There's so much to be offered and learned from just by the collaboration that we're establishing. And then practical steps to set up and manage your travel business with ease. How many of you know that just simply creating a calendar or any type of calendar can help you? That's a practical step. So you're not all everywhere. You control your schedule and you can say, I'm working my other business during this time, or I'm working a job during this time. Then that way, you know when you can be available for your clients and for your customers because you have those practical tools. Now, Coach Lanisha talked a little bit about leverage, and I had to jump back in here because I am the queen of leverage, y'all. I love being able to take what people are already doing. I'll give you an example. We have Jackie Delane on the line today from Illinois. Listen, her whole brand, her whole focus, she is a retired educator. And this is a season in her life because she spent so many years as a caregiver, but now she is on her self care journey. Think about how many self care professionals out there that we know that's really in that area of connecting with people and helping us to prioritize our health. That's a multiplier effect. When you can say, you know what, within my travel business, did you know that there's a health and wellness component? Well, listen, we have someone on the line who has taken her travel business and she is a certified wellness travel provider. And that's Christina. She's here in Arizona with me. Do you guys get it? This is the multiplier effect. So you can tap into other networks and create exponential growth. Because, yes, it's one thing for you to be a massage therapist or a nutritionist, but what about we all know that there's tremendous health benefits for people that integrate travel in their life. So now that allows you to have exponential conversations on how you can leverage the travel business to help you in your health and wellness area. And then enhance client relationships. If you are an accountant or you have any type of business that will allow you to let people see the benefits of travel, that is going to enhance your relationship. Because you can say, I have that travel division. Maybe I noticed that you have been really working hard in your business. Here, I put together this package that you and your team or your business may really be able to benefit from. And travel is going to give you the competitive edge for sure. I'm so proud of the magazine that I have been working to create with an amazing team since 2018. That gives me a competitive edge. Why would somebody want to collaborate and partner with me? Well, one, if you're my business partner, I'm going to be able to give you greater exposure because we have a whole beautiful magazine that's going around the country, and now your business is going to get a heightened level of exposure. So, what is your competitive edge? Why would somebody want to partner with you? Why would somebody want to book their travel with you?
Thank you so much, Coach, for sharing that competitive edge. Yes, I've heard so many people say, oh my goodness, I can't believe you've blended both in your business. Like that is so smart. And so, yes, what I want to talk about is how to leverage it in our social media and storytelling. So I know there's like a 0.001, at least in my mind, a 0.001% of people that are not on social media. But if you're on social media, what platforms do you use? Go ahead and put it in the chat. I use everything just to be now. I may not use them all well. There are some that I focus on. But if you use or leverage social media at all in your personal or professional business, what platforms do you typically use? And let's talk about how important social media and storytelling is. First and foremost, so as you know, I'm a coach. Okay. So on my platform, I typically talk about three things. I talk about living on purpose. I talk about the fly lifestyle, which is thriving in every area of life. And then I talk about travel. Can you guess which posts typically get the most engagement? It's not a surprise. It's definitely the travel. And so it's just something about travel that everybody can connect to. It's a common language that we're all talking. And so whether you're sharing a post, a picture of somewhere that you've traveled, or share a picture or post of somewhere that you desire to travel, it typically will put some eyes on your page and bring in some engagement. Not only that, I tell individuals, especially entrepreneurs, this is why it's so important to post content on your pages. This is why it's so important. Whether you think that people are seeing it or not, here's why. Because once you have something that grabs their attention, they're going to check out your page. And then what do we want? We want them to scroll. So what are they seeing? And so I used to be like, oh my gosh, the travel is the one that performs the best. And it's like, no, I want that too, because now I want you to stay on my page. And then you'll come to learn more about me. You'll come to maybe even follow me. And I've gotten a lot of followers from my travel related posts. And so it's like now they want to follow me. Now they'll get to learn more about me and get connected more to me and what we're doing. And so that is the power of using social media in your business. The next thing, tax and financial incentives. Now, I am not an accountant and we will not go into this, but I do want to touch on it just very briefly. And I challenge you to go and talk to your accountant and ask them about the benefits of not only a home-based business, but a travel-related business, especially leveraging it in your as either a standalone business or if you leverage it in a current business. And here's why. The difference between a travel professional and a consumer is just basically one thing. So when we all travel, what do? We take pictures, we post them to our stories. We're going out and we're experiencing all of the things. We want to experience the sand, we want to experience the excursions, and we're documenting this, right? That's all content that we can use when we use our social media. But not only that, um, we're creating content for our business. And so I want you to talk to your accountants about the benefits of owning a travel business and a home-based business and how that can impact you beneficially. And then lastly, we just want to talk about continuous learning. Oh my goodness, travel. I say that travel is the best classroom. When you get a chance to get out of your familiar setting, when you get a chance to um, go out and experience different cultures, different cities, different environments. Oh my goodness. I tell people all the time, I have learned so much by traveling. That's why we call it goals around the globe, because there is so much that we can learn. And not only that, once you travel, and once you get out of your everyday environment, you are able to now, I say, if for me personally, oh my goodness, that reset, that refresh, because you're out of your normal day to day, it's like the ideas just come from nowhere. And so we're ready to come back and we're ready to execute because we're now refreshed and we got a chance to go get away. And so there's just a lot of learning opportunities, not only in the business, but as we get a chance to get out and travel the world. So as I pass it back to Coach to close this out, because like I said, we wanted to respect your time on this Saturday. We're going to be asking you, are you ready to take off? So go ahead and close this out, Coach, and then we'll finish up with some Q&A.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, we are indeed ready to take off. And I want to just share something, an experience I recently had. I am in love with Facebook because that's what I'm familiar with, but I'm learning YouTube. And Coach Lanisha just talked about knowing and trying the different platforms. And so I put a clip, an old clip from a Jamaica trip, and Rick's Cafe is very popular. So as I was trying to beef up my YouTube, listen, I usually get somewhere maybe 50, 60 views on different things. How about I made, what is it called? I can't remember what it's called on YouTube. But can I tell you guys, when I posted that travel related clip on YouTube, I got over like 2,500 views. So that is leveraging, example of leveraging our social media and being consistent. We can't be consistent on all platforms, but yes, Imani, a YouTube short. That's what I did. And when I seen it over 2,000, I was like, I don't care how long it take me. I'm going to keep building my YouTube channel. So now it's time for you all to really be ready to take off and go on this travel journey. For those of you that's new, we've piqued your interest in any way. Anybody that invited you today is going to be so simple. You're going to have enough information within 10 minutes to make an informed decision. And you just reach out to the person that invited you and tell them that you're ready to see the big picture. They're going to send you a video. They're going to get myself or one of their leaders on the line, and we're going to be able to get all your questions answered. So thank you again so much for joining us. We are going to stop the recording so we can have some private conversation with our guest this morning.